two women, two visions of America, the media personality versus the rising politician. Their online war is about to become very real. One says she might run, the other isn't backing down. 2028 just got a lot more interesting. Game on.
The gloves are off. Megyn Kelly dropping a political bomb that nobody saw coming. After AOC hurled vicious defamatory accusations at President Trump, she didn't just respond, she declared total war. If she runs for president, I will run too. The former Fox anchor turned independent warrior is done playing nice with the socialist squad. She called AOC a Congressional Kardashian who knits between $75,000 a plate galas while pretending to be relatable. And the left, of course, is melting down. Conservative social media is on fire. And this isn't just about 2028. It's about the soul of America. What Kelly said next about AOC, suing AOC will make your jaw drop. So don't miss this. And while political dynasties crumble and new warriors rise, I've discovered what true transformation looks like. C60 Evo changed my life and my family's health completely. This Nobel Prize-winning molecule made lab rats live 90% longer, is now giving us results that seem impossible. Brain fog eliminated, years of joint pain vanished. My wife looks and feels a decade younger. At 172 times more powerful than vitamin C, this is not just another supplement. Scientist Chris Buras, he has been perfecting this technology in his Houston lab since 1991. Visit c60evo.com/NNN. Use code NNN for exclusive savings because real change starts with your health. You'll find it linked in the description. So this kind of caught us all off guard. Megyn Kelly saying she will run for president in 2028 if AOC runs too. Well, we've seen the posturing from AOC, her town halls with Bernie Sanders, her tours with Bernie Sanders. I don't think it's just a simple tour to maintain relevancy. I think she is clearly testing the waters to see if she'll run. Of course, there's the talk of her challenging Chuck Schumer as well for his Senate seat. Both of those equally terrifying things to consider. Now, Tim Burchett, before we get to Megyn Kelly, Tim Burchett said, I can respect a liberal, I can respect Cortez, but she's a Marxist.
I can respect a liberal. I respect Cortez. She's my buddy. I mean, she's a Marxist. She's a friendly neighborhood Marxist, as I always call her. And I say stuff to her. She'll get on one of my videos, and I'm walking off the floor of the house, and I say, hey, Cortez. And she go, hey, Burchett. And I tell people, don't look at her too long. She'll steal your soul. You know, and we have that kind of relationship, and we can joke about it. And that's the trouble with what's going on in this country right now. Steve Cohen, probably as far left as you can be. You know, he's Jewish, and I try to be a Christian. We came from Tennessee together. We raised the speed limit together. You know, and we were I always joked, we'd go out to eat dinner at night because he was so far to the left and I was so far to the right, we met on the other side. But honestly.
Megyn Kelly will run for president in 2028 if AOC runs too. Megyn Kelly, big mad at AOC for calling Trump a rup. Says he should sue her. That's a defamatory statement. Dude.
Suing her. She was last week before the inauguration, AOC saying, I'm not going to the inauguration because I don't support rapists. Mm-hmm. That is a defamatory statement. She didn't make clear that's opinion. She said it as though it were a matter of fact. It isn't. And I really think he should give some serious thought to suing her. She wasn't on the legislative floor. She was sitting in her apartment doing a little Instagram. You can't get away with that. You can't, a term like he's a rapist or he's committing potential treason in working with the Russians. Like, news organizations have just, and politicians for that matter, given up all the guardrails that we used to observe. You know, we used to at least try to be more careful. Last week before the inauguration.
Oh, yeah. Not AOC, though. Megyn Kelly, Republicans in the House introduced a resolution to honor Charlie Kirk. Nearly 100 rank-and-file Democrats voted for it. 58 Dems voted no. AOC refused to join that resolution. Megyn Kelly says she may run for president if AOC does. There's no way this person can run for president or be president. Let's see here. This is from Gateway Pundit. I think we have the video here. Here's the transcript. Where is the video? Here it is.
We got a lot to get to today. AOC and Bernie Sanders had a town hall on CNN last night. Why? Why again? I mean, honestly, like, why are you doing, like, when I was at Fox, if we had a town hall, we were gearing up for an election and we'd put on the candidates and talk to them about their positions. What are these fighting the oligarchy? Did we go over her private jet and his? Here's just a sample. You won't believe who they're blaming for their party's woes.
Why does Republican messaging on social media seem so much more effective than Democratic messaging? And what can we do about it?
Because it is.
Well, that's a great question. I think the Republicans are effective. They have learned a lot about social media. And by the way, it doesn't hurt that their friends own all of the major social media platforms.
So because they have also been very clear, especially digitally, about what they believe. That women are inferior, that do not, and they do not deserve equal rights. That they believe that LGBTQ Americans are subhuman. And they are able to radicalize and target and exploit a generation of young boys, in particular, away from healthy masculinity and into an insecure masculinity that requires the domination of others who are poorer, browner, darker, or a different gender than them.
Let's be perfectly clear. There was indeed one party that radicalized today's young men, and it was yours, madam. It was yours. It was yours who blamed them for literally everything, just because they were born and born male. The nerve. Your side demonized them at every turn and laughed when they ever dared to express any actual pain at the circumstances that they were forced into through no fault of their own. You are absolutely disgusting to now try to turn it around and say it is the Republican Party which came to their rescue that, quote, radicalized them. You don't know any young Republican men. I guarantee you right now that woman knows zero Republican men because none of them would be seen with her. And for her to come out there and try to turn what she and her brethren did to them for years around it all, never mind to then blame it on the party that actually stood up for them, is the height of gall. That is infuriating. And the Republicans want to treat trans people as subhuman. It's your side that wants to take non-trans children, perfectly healthy children who may be going through normal emotional distress, and literally give them double mastectomies so that you can feel better about who you are. That's what you and your party are doing. The Republicans are standing up for minors who deserve to have adequate and healthy sexual function when they get older, who deserve to breastfeed their children, who deserve to have children and not be sterilized at age 14 by puberty blockers into cross-sex hormones, a problem with which they will deal for the rest of their lives long after you have sailed into the sunset, abuelita. So you can take a seat on lecturing the right half of the country on the dehumanization of so-called trans people. How dare you? How dare you? Okay, so we're 3 minutes into the show. Deep breaths. I had read the soundbite. I had not seen it played out. It's different when you hear it. F that woman. If she runs for president, I might run. Honestly, like I'll find my way into the ticket somehow. I there's no way this person can run for president or be president. No.
Wow.
No.
Wow. Megyn Kelly, man. She's not pleased. Do you think AOC would help boost her base and win? I say it'd be funny to see AOC debate. What about you? Kamala Harris is reportedly planning to run for president in 2028, and she wants AOC as her VP. That would be terrifying. Okay, here's another clip. Megyn Kelly. You may remember him from World War II. Let's see.
So she was a cross between Ilaria, who went to a fancy boarding school in either Boston or Rhode Island, and isn't Spanish at all. And also this guy. You may remember him from World War II as the leader of Italy.
Oh my God.
Megyn
What do you
is
think?
just breaking out the 50 cal.
This is hot fire today.
So she was a cross.
Here is more from Megyn Kelly reacting to the New York Powerhouse feature on AOC.
They continue to tell us they've got again, just least attractive leftists you can find. And on that front, forgive me, but I'm just going to tell the truth. I'm going to start with Ella Emhoff, who they continue to tell us is some sort of a supermodel. I'd like to see the photos. What runway show has she walked in? Because what I see is a woman who would never qualify as a supermodel in anybody's book. She might be the living opposite of a Kate Moss or a Paulina Porizkova or a Cindy Crawford, who were the OG supermodels. She looks short, stubby, with large calves and a bunch of tats all over her and strange eyeglasses and hair in a very weird little living room.
Now that's Kamala Harris's stepdaughter, if you don't know.
Holding a tiny little dog. So that's her. And then there's AOC in her Queens. They want you to know she's in Queens. She's a woman of the people, living room, knitting, because she's just like us, Stu. She lies at her on her couch at home. And in between going to the Met Gala, remember, in a dress that reads "Tax the Rich," as she's hobnobbing with them at $75,000 a plate, she knits. So that's relatable, okay? That's why she needs to be our next president. But my favorite is Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton, well-known race hustler and hoaxer, who somehow rehabilitated himself into one of the very serious and esteemed voices on MSNBC, whose photograph is him in his living room with a photo of him in the background. As author John Gabriel put it on X, like Al Sharpton, my house only.
Okay, but what I want to know, what is that thing behind him? Is that for pets or children? Maybe. What is that? Is that a pet cage? I don't know.
He has photos and statues of me, plus a little cage for the kids, which is what it looks like. There's literally a huge photo of himself on the wall behind him, nothing else. Then another photo that appears to be, I don't know, maybe of him. A statue, I don't know who the statue's of, could also be him. And then a weird little, looks like a pack and play kind of thing, which is apparently for his dog.
Oh,
maybe. I don't know. I don't know Al Sharpton well enough, but he made the list.
It's for Al Sharpton's GIMP. Bring out the GIMP. The GIMP's sleeping. Wake him up. Here's Megyn Kelly calling AOC a Congressional Kardashian.
AOC.
Just give us a state of politicians post this current batch.
Well,
what is the same?
I
What's
don't feel very
different?
optimistic.
Okay. Is it getting worse?
Yeah, it's getting worse because of Instagram and AOC, that kind of person. Yes, her specifically, but not just her.
Say more.
They want, these are Congressional Kardashians.
Oh, dude. That is solid.
Can I tell you something? My experience in the news business dealing with politicians leads me to believe that the people in this room and on this stage over your 2-day conference are the people we need to be looking to for our future leaders and ideas and to save the country. It's not Washington, D.C. All the incentives to be a good person are gone.
Just give us a state of politicians.
Congressional Kardashians. That is clever, man. That is good. Megyn Kelly declares if AOC runs, she will run against her. Oh, here's another one. Megyn Kelly has some things to say about AOC's recent stupid quote of the day.
Absolute nonsense from like AOC that he should be impeached is just absurd. Absurd. There's no, okay, get back to me when you've read the Constitution or get a law degree, because you sound like an absolute fucking idiot. There is absolutely no ground to impeach the president. He 100% was within his constitutional authority and his congressionally authorized authority to do what he did on Saturday. Okay, but as for whether it's a good idea, that's a debate we should be having. And look, if we could get congressional approval of the specific action, fine, I'm okay with that too. If you want to bring it to Congress, go ahead and see how that goes.
Megyn Kelly dropping F-bombs. Here she is talking about, let's see.
AOC has been out there on this, I don't know if it's campaign trail, I don't know what we're calling it, but this Fight the Oligarchy tour with Bernie Sanders, from which, venue to venue, she travels first class, sipping her champagne, in the first class cabin as the losers and plebs walk by to coach. They're the ones she's really fighting for. And she's decided to ramp up her anti-Trump rhetoric in a way she's done before, but that could be deeply problematic for her if Trump actually decides to pay some attention to her. Listen to her just the other day, SOT 11.
Donald Trump is a criminal who was found guilty of 34 felony counts of fraud. Liable for sexual abuse. Of course he's lying and abusing and manipulating the stock market too. When he talks about rapists and criminals, he should look in the mirror.
Okay. Clearly saying that Donald Trump is a racist. Rapist. She also thinks he's a racist. He's all the ists. But here, she's in deep trouble because he was not found liable for rape. And George Stephanopoulos just had to pay ABC some $15 million to President Trump to settle a defamation lawsuit for saying that. AOC has been out there on this.
So we're going to wait and find out if you got value from this report. Tap subscribe. This is what happens when fake meets real. AOC plays socialist princess while living like the elite she claims to hate. Megyn Kelly built her career on brutal honesty and won't let these hypocrites slide anymore. When AOC crosses the line with her vicious smears against Trump, Kelly didn't just clap back, she threw down the gauntlet for 2028. Look, we know Kelly's not actually running for president, but the fact that she's even floating it shows how fed up real Americans are with the squad's toxic influence. And the Congressional Kardashian, who preaches revolution between champagne toast, she got served notice. Your act's wearing thin. And honestly, if it came down to AOC versus Kelly, of course I would vote for Kelly in a heartbeat. At least she's honest about who she is. So here's the question. Would you vote for Megyn Kelly over AOC if that was really the choice? Drop your answer below. Make sure you check out our American Badass collection in the merch shop, linked down below.